Matt PD. Did it work? Norway's Guy streams. How about now? Capable certified Bilyeu. Norway's Guy, would you like me? Mr. Wise Guy. Hi.
There we go. Took a little while, but we're live. We're live. We're here. Yes, I am back after what, like 2 months or something. Yeah. Let's just pretend those 2 months didn't happen. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna talk about freaking. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. But let's see, where are we at? There we go. Boom. We got some Asmongold. We got some, no, not this dude. We got some, well, we got some more Asmongold, but we got this guy. We're going to be watching this guy. This Tom, I'm not going to pronounce that last name. But yeah, he talked to Destiny. This was actually really good. It's basically 2 hours. And then we got some more Asmongold, but the Mom Donnie interview thing. This was quite interesting. I'm not going to lie. This was quite interesting. And then we got some food shops. I just found out about this androgynous character. Like, it's a girl. She's a girl. But in freaking Korea, like the guys, every single Korean guy I've seen, they're just very like androgynous. They're very androgynous. So like, this is androgynous for Korean standards. I don't think she's Korean, but we're gonna use Korean standards because why not? And then yeah, we're not gonna watch this. But I started watching some food shops because we'll also do the Trump thing, the Wick TV Trump thing. Maybe not in this stream, but I want to watch that. That'll be cool. And then food shops apparently has a 4-hour stream on this as well, which I don't think we're ever gonna watch, to be honest. But watching her watch this video first, the Asmongold thing, like we're just gonna watch what she watched, but I'm gonna watch it directly because I thought this was really good and kind of funny. So yeah, we'll do that first.
This guy.
And I need a break from Destiny, even though the next video is going to be a Destiny video, but we need a break from Destiny. We got to do some good confirmation bias. Except, this is legit good criticism on Asmongold, but the way that he responds to it is just hilarious.
Crashed out about, I guess this is like a clip that I did. I am apparently the dumbest person to him.
One of the things that's been driving me crazy more and more lately is when you have people who have large audiences who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they're just desperate to start giving their political takes and opinions.
Okay.
Because, look, you do a massive disservice. You have this giant audience of people who follow you, and if you're out there...
The disservice is disagreeing.
Spreading false notions of politics. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. The best example of this is fucking Joe Rogan, who doesn't know his ass from his elbow. But he's out there. He was at the inauguration. He gave Trump a softball interview. He gave J.D. Vance a softball interview. Fucking hot.
Didn't give you an interview. I can see why you're mad.
stone massages every billionaire in the country on his show regularly. But then he'll go on his show and, so, who, me, bro? I'm just like a centrist. I'm like, I'm not right, I'm not left. I'm sort of above the fray and stuff. Like, it's whatever. He tries to do this enlightened centrist bit. Meanwhile, he's like,
I thought this was about me. Let's get to the part about me.
On the Trump train, quite literally. So, he's a great example of it. But another one is Asmongold. Asmongold, he's been getting more and more political. And I hear this. I just want to shove my nuts in a waffle iron when I hear this shit. Because, like, what are you saying? What are you saying? You know you don't know what you're...
To be honest, I'm not going to be reacting too much on this. Mostly because I mostly agree with Asmongold. There's certain things that I disagree with him on, but in this video, he does a really good job at breaking this guy down. Let's just say that. Or this was very entertaining. Maybe not breaking him down, but like, you'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay. You know you don't know what you're talking about.
Great.
But he does it anyway. So here he is giving his theory.
Okay, so here, all right, here we go. This is me talking. All right, let's find out.
About how, the Democrats, they've been so radicalized that the Republicans are, the poor put upon Republicans, they're just like reacting to what the insane Democrats are doing. I'm not kidding. That's his actual argument. Let's watch.
This is I think it is a unique Democrat problem. Now, when a Republican does something bad, here's the big difference, right? It's not that Republicans don't do anything bad, but when a Republican does something...
We're literally watching Asmongold reacting to Kyle Kulinski reacting to Asmongold. And I'm just watching it because it's fun.
bad, everybody generally says, oh, okay, that's really bad. But the problem is that Democrats look to try to, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter that much. Who cares?
Oh, he mad.
Now do you understand why I said this made me want to shove my nuts in a waffle iron?
Great argument. You know what? I never saw it this way whenever I said it. But now that you say that you want to put your dick in a waffle iron... I completely agree with you. Actually, was wrong. I was totally wrong.
Homie literally said,
yes,
when a Republican does something bad, other Republicans could be like, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, generally. I think true. I think it's more true than for Democrats. I'm sure
look at what, Tim Pool right now, kind of going off on the whole woke right with Candace Owens and the conspiracy theories with the Nick Fuentes and everything. Like, he's going off on, like, why do we keep talking about that stuff? Like, he is criticizing them. This is happening.
There's exceptions, but I think it's generally true. Yeah.
That might actually be the least true thing I've ever heard in my life. That is somehow the most false thing I've ever heard.
So the argument is no. Got it.
Base.
Entire life.
Okay.
Asmongold, bro.
Great.
I love how he completely condenses everything that he says. But like, he says so many different words that means really bad things, and then Asmongold kind of just interprets it and condenses down to what he basically means, and he's not wrong. Like, it's kind of reductive, but he's not wrong.
Great argument.
Let me just let's just go with Elon Musk. What most false thing I've ever heard in
so the argument is no. Got it.
Entire life.
Okay.
Asmongold, bro.
Great argument.
Let me just let's just go with Elon Musk. What did Elon do when he was running Doge? You guys all know this. How many times have I given you the list?
All right.
He cut pediatric cancer research.
Ooh, that's bad. Cancer, cutting research into cancer, that has to be bad. Automatically, 100%, right?
Not a single Republican came out. Not a single fucking Republican came out and criticized him for cutting child cancer research.
All right, it does sound bad. So I will condemn. It. It sounds very bad to be cutting cancer research. I'll say that.
Has it ever occurred to you that maybe the research was done in a way that was bad? Like, every time that people say something like this...
Wait, hold up. So, when he says that, right? A lot of people on the left kind of, like, cringed and wanted to yell at him. Let me show you the the part that was honestly the funniest thing. The funniest thing. Wait, hold up.
Meteorologists say the...
Wait, hold up. We'll find it. We'll find it.
This service, you got this.
Oh my god.
Giving their political takes and audiences.
Yes.
Who don't know what the fuck they're talking.
Wait, hold up. Because she talks way too much.
and so who, me, bro? I'm just like a centrist. I'm not
really right to shoot.
It's not that Republicans don't do anything bad, but when a Republican...
Great argument.
Let me just tell, let's just go with Elon Musk. What did Elon do when he was running Doge? You guys all know this. How many times have I given you the list?
All right.
He cut pediatric cancer research. Not a single Republican came out, not a single fucking Republican came out and criticized him for cutting child cancer research.
Has it ever occurred to you that maybe the research was done in a way that was bad?
But what's the evidence, Asmon? Like, where's the evidence? You're just assuming that the fraud is there, but like there's no documented evidence.
He didn't say anything about fraud. He said, is that like not something that you can just think about, whether it's like this, regardless of whether you know something is happening there or not, whether there's evidence of anything happening there or not. These guys, obviously, that are in the government are cutting these things for a reason. And you don't know that reason, Food Shop. So I don't know why you're pretending that you know that there isn't any evidence at all. Like just by saying because he's not presenting anything doesn't mean that there's nothing out there, which is also equally as stupid, basically. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because this Mrs. Androgynous. Mrs. Androgynous. Wait, am I gonna? Is that mean? Is it mean to say that? I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. If it's mean to say that, and they respond and they didn't like it and they get triggered, then I'll stop. But until then, you know what to do.
The implication is that, oh, they're curing cancer or something like that. This is bullshit. Yeah. And also on top of that, yeah, just because you're doing research doesn't mean that it's a good allocation of government money.
True.
What if the research that you're doing is problematic?
Yeah.
What if the research is not funded properly? What if you're getting too much money? There are all of these questions. It's like basically doing cancer research is not an immediate and infinite get out of jail free card from any degree of accountability and any amount of government oversight. What a crazy thing to say.
By the way, that Food Shops person, she literally just keeps pausing and pausing and pausing and pausing and pausing for almost every single sentence that he does without even like finishing it. And then she projects and says, "Oh look, Asmongold never lets him talk as much because Asma keeps pausing and pausing." I'm like, bro, I waited until he was done, and then he finished. Once he finished the statement, then I paused it and put my 2 cents in, like. Just in case if anyone wants to like say, "Oh wait, but I'm projecting," and I'm like, I literally just did the thing, or I literally just did not do the thing. So yeah, get out of here.
But it's for cancer kids.
True.
Okay, great emotional argument.
True.
We love that. It's optics. Yeah, it's just optics. It's just the way that it sounds. Because the idea of, oh my God, he's cutting research for cancer kids. Oh no, that sounds bad.
Yep.
By the way, there was one of those things was literally a cure that worked.
Oh,
shoot.
Okay. So we had a cure. Let's get this straight. We had a cure for cancer.
Right. Yeah.
We almost had it.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump and Elon Musk turned it off.
True. Yeah. They have so much power to just turn it off. Yeah. It's obviously not happening anywhere else. True.
Okay, sure.
I'm not kidding. It was a gene editing thing that they used to stop leukemia. They tried it on somebody.
Yes.
It worked. He cut the fucking funding.
Okay. So it worked on one person. Which again, I'm not even sure whether this is true. I don't have that. I don't have it in front of me. I don't remember this happening at all, by the way. But like, okay, so we have one person it happened on. Leukemia is cancer? Yeah, it's blood cancer.
National Weather Service, which literally led to deaths. It led to deaths. There was a late warning.
You do realize that private funding of things that look like breakthroughs could just like be a thing, right? Or just private fund, or just all types of research. Once the government stops funding it, therefore people just don't want to like figure it out anymore. I guess people are just gonna sit down and die now because the money's gone there, boys. True. Yeah. All right. It's like telling a doctor that his son is dying, and then, well, I'm not going to get paid to do this procedure to like like prevent my son from dying because there's no more money coming in anymore. Well, I guess I just can't do it now. Yeah, good one. Good one.
Warning that went out because he cut the National Weather Service, and you have these kids at a Christian sleepaway camp who died. He cut.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this is garbage because that everyone's like saying like, oh, the Texas thing, the flooding, it was like, oh wait, like if Republicans didn't put any of these policies, then maybe the flood wouldn't have happened. Now that's a straw man that they're actually not making. They're not making that argument, but it sounds like they're making that argument. But what they're actually saying is that, well, the Republicans, they took away funding, so since they took away funding on certain areas, it means that people didn't have enough time to do this because they had less people on staff or whatever, and therefore, since they had less people on staff, they couldn't like broadcast that information quick enough. But just doing one simple Google search that Asmongold does, like, you see that that's just not true. So,
okay. I live in Texas. Meteorologists say the National Weather Service did its job in Texas. Doge cut hundreds of jobs at the NWS, but experts who spoke to Wired says the agency accurately predicted the state's weekend flood risk. These are meteorologists. If you don't know, that's a weather wizard.
True.
Those are people that understand the weather. Okay. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that?
So those policies, basically those policies that the guy in this video, this dude, apparently, like, everything that he just said was like just BS, basically, because the policies had nothing to do with whether they were actually going to get deleted or not. So yeah,
sounds
information
like
got to them,
and this is the thing, right? You give a specific example, and it falls apart.
Yep.
Meals on Wheels.
Right.
He cut the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the anti-scam police. No
Good. They weren't doing their job. They obviously had no fucking idea what they were doing. The scams have been through the fucking roof. So, yeah, wow. Well, let me get this straight. Okay, so there's a bureau of people that are supposed to stop scams, and you want to keep them on payroll? They sucked.
Republicans criticized any of these things. None of them. He fired 83,000 veterans. Nobody criticized it.
Oh, no. You can't fire veterans anymore. Didn't you know that? We're not allowed to fire veterans. Another emotional appeal.
True.
He fired 250,000 government workers overall. Nobody fucking criticized.
Good. It should have been more.
Criticized it. When he cut USAID, cutting off malaria medication from going to people who need it. HIV medication.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Like, he's like, obviously these two people, Asmongold and Eric, what's this guy's name? Kyle Kulinski. Apparently, like, they both live in two different worlds. So, like,
oh no, that's right. It's America's responsibility to pay for people that have HIV and AIDS in Africa. That's right. Oh, yeah.
People have been dying in droves. They didn't.
Is he specifying in America or not? No, he's not. It's because it's not happening in America. He's right that USAID was funding the lives of a number of people outside of America. This is absolutely true. And that's why a lot of people voted to get rid of it. It's because you have people here that are dying from lack of medical care. You have people here that don't have housing. And so why is it that we are allocating money and resources to stopping HIV and AIDS in countries that are not our own, but we're not able to keep houses? You want to talk about veterans. Why are there any homeless veterans? Where is the priority list that a veteran ever gets outranked by a person in Africa?
true.
That's not the place that I'd want to live in. I'll tell you that. That's crazy to me.
You fucking criticize it?
Of course, because I agree with it. Yeah, I agree with it. Good call. W.
Your minds, and that's And that's just Elon. I didn't even mention Trump.
Which, by the way, and also all of these examples here that he's given are policy decisions and not
Neri
actual
1449.
violence.
Asmond is gold. Winky face.
Yes, I have fixed the text-to-speech, and I've completely revamped it to when if the chat gets like explosive and then I have to turn off the chat, now I have my own little featured thing that I can do.
Neri 1449 says, Asmond is gold. Winky face.
True. And then it just disappears automatically. So like if the chat gets too crazy, but I still want people to like weigh in, it works. It just works. How are you doing?
I was discussing things like Charlie Kirk and Jay Jones in the clip. And so he's misinterpreted what I've said, and he's even making an argument that doesn't even make sense in the context of what I said. So not only did you get the argument wrong, but to the extent that you're making your other argument, that one's also wrong.
Trump has been bombing random dinghy fishing boats with innocent people in them.
How do you know that? You really think... What about the submarine? Was that a fishing submarine too?
True. Yeah, because they bombed a submarine as well.
Do you really think that they're blowing up? Really think that they're fishing boats? This is an innocent fishing submarine. Don't you guys have those? With 4 motors on them. Yeah, and by the way, so let me get this straight.
Wartsnary, do you know this person named Food Shops? I just recently found out about them. Where is she? Yes. I call her Mrs. Androgynous.
Neri 1449. Good cheers, though spent too much on a new PC.
Oh, you spent too much on a new PC? Well, yeah. PC parts are they're really getting a little hurt right now, yeah. Especially those RAM prices.
Evidence. There's nothing.
Oh wait, no, we're not watching this. But you know this person, right? She's basically Destiny Lite.
Great. So the U.S. government can read a license plate with a satellite from outer space.
Neri 1449. Yes, sadly do. No food shops. 2i to the well, you know.
Sadly, I do know food shots too. Well, you know. Yeah, she's basically, yeah.
You think that a Twitter post that said that the people were innocent is more accurate than that? Sure.
And nobody on the right has been criticizing it at all.
Because they agree with it, because it's the right thing to do. It is. Absolutely. Blow up the boats. Without even a question. How could you be against that?
Blow up the boats. My goodness.
I mean, these are people that are trying to bring drugs to our country that are going to kill our people. If I saw somebody running at my house with a bomb, I would want to shoot them before they got to my house. I wouldn't want to try to apprehend them, arrest them, and try to put them through a whole process. No, you just fucking shoot them. And he'd do the same thing.
They've all been lying.
Context does matter, but I understand Asmund's point. It's a little extreme, but I understand his point.
And pretending these are narco-terrorists and Trump...
They're lying. Okay, where's the argument that they're...
killing the right people and stuff. This is insane. This is
Where's
insane.
Neri 1449? So true. Fishing speedboats with no fishing equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but like, they were fishers. Context doesn't matter, you know? At least that's how they would say it on the left.
It's insane. Okay, well, that's a good argument for why they're not narco-terrorists. Yeah, no, I'm sure the fishing submarine, it was just a bunch of, like poor innocent Venezuelans who were just trying to get by, and they only had enough money to cobble together for one submarine. And you know what they say, right? You got to fish where the fish are. And so they had to go underwater to get the fish.
Even if they
True.
were.
Okay, so even if they were, right? Okay, so now we've already shifted. We've already shifted from, no, there's no way this is the case. But if it was the case, okay, here we go.
Trafficking narcotics,
Yes.
The penalty is not instant death. Are you...
Yeah, it is. And if it's not, it should be. How about that?
All right, a little extreme, but
Are you
okay.
ridiculous? Oh my.
Yeah, why not? Really, why not?
I mean,
Who gonna stop us? Yeah, exactly. Fuck them.
My God, we're only 24 seconds into a 2-minute clip. I don't know if I can fucking get through this.
I'm only 3 minutes into his clip. I don't know if I can get through this either.
damn.
I don't know if I might like fucking
Worsenary
have an aneurysm on
1449.
air.
Uh-oh.
Like, oh,
Based.
True.
it's not that.
Wait, is this a new account, by the way? Or has it never actually spelled out your entire name before? Wartsenary 1449. Because it always just used to say Wartsenary.
Big of a deal.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't matter that much. Who cares? And I think that that has radicalized a lot of people. And
Yes.
I'll view that, and we can contrast this now. Which, you remember whenever they had all those text message leaks, and it was all those young Republican people talking about how much they liked Hitler, and nobody really cared about that anymore. And the reason why, it's because left-wing people have established basically a standard, and now right-wing people are living up to it.
He flipped the truth exactly on its head.
Okay.
This is insane.
Worsenary 1449. No, I have no idea how to get rid of the numbers. Always had them.
Huh. Oh. Oh. Wait. Okay. I think I kind of know why. Because I changed my system, and now it's actually reading everything. I'll have to figure out how I made it so that it didn't have to read every single thing that it says, but okay, all right.
The exact opposite. My entire...
Oh, wait, hold up. Hold up. I just realized something. The words are a little bit off the screen. I need to fix that. Hold up. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see. Can I fix this live? All right, that might have fixed it. Maybe chat again. I want to see what happens. Well, let's move you out of the way. We don't need you over there. There we go.
adult life. It's been the opposite. There was literally a slogan that the Democrats had about how much we're pussies. Michelle Obama came out and said, when they go low, we go high. That dominated a generation of Democratic thought.
Then why'd you guys burn down all the stuff in BLM?
True.
Why'd you burn down the Teslas? That
Mercenary
doesn't sound like going
1449.
high. Maybe.
This is a test 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Ah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So like over here, that's where it was clipping out a little bit. That bothered me. It was a few pixels out, but now it's fixed. Let's go. Thank you.
Maybe getting high, but not going high. So because Michelle Obama said something, now everything that Democrats do is automatically good.
True. True.
Well, why didn't I think of that?
They go low, we go high.
Yeah.
And then what happened? The Republicans decided to shatter the filibuster record under Obama. Obama literally came out and said, I'm going to propose your ideas, Republicans. I'm going to do the things you say you love. I'm going to do a health care plan that came from the Heritage Foundation, a right-wing think tank, and Mitt Romney, the Republican, did it in Massachusetts as the governor. I'm going to do your plan.
Uh-huh.
And Republicans had previously all supported this plan.
I think the Republicans treated Obama too harshly, too. Honestly, I generally agree with this. I think the Republicans, like, they stopped them from appointing Merrick Garland as Supreme Court Justice, which I think Obama did have the purview to do. And throughout his entire tenure as being president, that did happen. Like, I mean, he's right about this. Yeah, absolutely.
Obama proposed it. We're against it. We're against it. How dare you?
And who says that Asmongold is not fair? Come on now. That is a fair take right there. That is a good fair take. I was going to do it. Oh. Yeah, there we go.
I think the ACA was bullshit. And I think that the best way to tell that the ACA was bullshit is that all of these different insurance companies had their fucking stock go way up after it got passed. The Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare, was the main thing that Obamacare was caring for were the insurance companies and private healthcare companies. It was mandatory welfare for those companies. It was a joke. Now, the Republicans didn't want what I want, which is universal health care. They don't want that. However, what again, what Obama did wasn't good either.
It's communist for us to do the healthcare plan that we came up with. This is who we're dealing with.
Okay.
They broke the filibuster record.
Sure.
They fucking instantly rejected their own ideas. Obama would do things like cut small business taxes, and they would attack him for it, even though, again, that's their ideas. You want to talk about radicalized?
Just because it's there, just because they had that idea one time doesn't mean that they can just change, that they just will never change their mind and maybe have a different idea like the next time. Like, people evolve over time. People don't stay and keep the exact same opinions at every single course of their time. Like people like Kyle Kulinski and the Destinies and those types of people and the food shoppers or whatever, they're like the type of people that their whole life hinges on whether you're a hypocrite or not. So like someone could say something years ago and then say something different, and they're like, see, you're a hypocrite. And I'm like opinions change over time, but timelines don't really matter. Like they don't, sometimes they matter and then sometimes they don't matter. So like
100% is the exact opposite. Democrats and liberals and leftists have been
no, for sure. People were negative about Obama. Yeah, definitely. I think that was stupid. It was stupid then, it's still stupid.
Radicalized by Republicans being so fucking insane. Trump tried to coup the government. Trump lost an election to Joe Biden, and then he did fake elector slates.
Worse nary 1449. Got to say I haven't changed politics. Was right wing as a kid. Still am. Is that normal? I don't know.
I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be normal. Like, like I was out of, I didn't, like, I was like politically analogous or different. Like, I didn't really have any type of politics when I was younger because I didn't really pay attention to it. And then I started paying attention to it, and then I kind of slowly over time built up my own type of take. Kind of like grabbing from different people that I've watched and stuff like that.
Oh, by the way, but he fucking got away with it.
Yes.
Then they had January 6th, the violence at January 6th. Even after the violence, Trump was still making phone calls saying, don't certify Joe Biden.
And this is the difference between, I think, a lot of liberals and people like me. Like, leftists like this will bend over backwards to justify why it was actually a good thing that we spent an entire year burning down auto zones, looting 7-Elevens, and destroying every city during BLM. They'll bend over backwards justifying why it's actually a good thing that you're destroying Teslas, or why it's a good thing that you had people that were, like Jay Jones, who's having conversations, fantasizing about killing people he's running against politically, right? The difference between, like, I think that myself and people like him is that I can easily say January 6th was a bad thing. It was awful.
Yeah, I can say that too.
It was bad.
Not good.
Like, the problem is that in a lot of cases, people like Kyle are unwilling to cede any ground or to look at anything objectively. They see everything through the lens of what their side wants, and they're not looking at it in any sort of an objective or realistic way. Obviously, January 6th was bad. Now, I think that it was very clearly misrepresented. And if you don't think so, then, maybe the BBC should hire you as a lawyer, because they admitted that it was misrepresented and apologized.
Yeah, actually, that was, wait, can I find that? That is actually, that's a sidetrack that we need to do. Hold up, let me see, can I find it? We'll continue watching, but I'm going to find that.
Guys for it. So, very clearly, it was misrepresented. But even in its best representation, it was still bad. But you don't need to come up with excuses for it. This is the problem. And that's the whole point that I'm making. That was the entire point of my clip, is that whenever Republicans, like what I was saying, do something bad, like January 6th, people like me, at least,
call it out and say, hey, that was pretty bad. You shouldn't do that. I didn't see that happen with Tesla bombings. I don't see that happen with Jay Jones. How about that? Very interesting.
He was asking politicians not to certify Joe Biden.
Yes.
That's insane. That is insane. And so they do the extreme shit. They do.
We found it. We found it.
So basically, the Telegram.
We're going to do a little sidetrack. This is actually insane.
So basically, the Telegraph has exposed a crazy, crazy, crazy lie.
Worsenary 1449. Wing.
Wing.
The BBC claims to be the pinnacle of impartial reporting. But
They're lying. They're not. They're totally biased.
what if there was an internal dossier that revealed that wasn't the case?
I would believe it.
The Telegraph has seen a letter that reveals one of the BBC's own independent advisors.
Worsenary 1449. Ha, I sent you that article.
Oh, really?
That the broadcaster had serious and systemic problems.
Uh-oh.
A week before the US election, BBC Panorama released a documentary called Trump: A Second Chance, and in it, they played the following clip.
Uh-oh.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
Actually, hold
and
up.
we fight.
This is
We
insane.
fight like hell.
But Trump didn't in fact say this at all. The BBC spliced together two clips that took place 54 minutes apart. So let's go.
And this is why we have so many people that are Trump deranged. They listened to that and said, look at it. He's explicitly saying this. And people don't want to watch the entire hour and 30-minute speech. They only look at the clips. I remember Destiny saying, no, well, there was a clip of him saying this thing. Like, it was just blatant. And you guys are seeing this, right? Like, this is crazy. And this is kind of like where the TTS spawns into existence. This type of stuff, man.
Go through it again.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
Now, see there, between Capitol and, that's a cut. Here's what Trump actually said.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
It's complete misinterpretation.
Completely.
Complete misrepresentation. Absolutely. Do you not remember watching this 3 minutes ago? Yeah, I am. It's spliced together. We watched a news report of this, but I figured I'd watch the original video.
Yeah.
Since they were the ones that put it out originally. Yeah, of course I saw it.
Different. It wasn't until nearly an hour later.
It's narrative creation. Yep, there it is. BBC executives resigning.
That he then said the
We'll
second
see.
part of the BBC's version.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
It's so disgusting how they operate. It's obvious.
And
They're parasites.
We fight like hell.
Literally 30 minutes later. Damn, that's insane.
It's true that a lot of people will still feel Trump's claims that in 2021 the election was stolen were entirely inappropriate. And
I think they were
unbecoming
inappropriate.
of a figure
Yeah.
in politics.
Yeah,
That's
bad.
that's
But
fine.
irrespective of your personal views on Trump, the question remains.
Worsenary
how is enough-
1449. Not enough of them have resigned.
Yeah, all of them need to resign.
They
True.
were so inappropriate and so problematic. Why do you need to create fan fiction in order to create the narrative for it? So,
Yeah.
like, I have no problem saying, like, yeah, Trump shouldn't have said the election was stolen and it was bullshit. Like, yeah, for sure. But, like, if that's the case and it's such a definitive thing, why are you making things up about it? Why don't you just simply show what the data is and show what actually happened? Rather
True.
than splicing it together in a way that's misleading.
Caster, funded by taxpayers.
Twitter also deleted the clip of Trump when he called the protesters to go home. Now, in my opinion, how would I deal with this? Like, I think that people that do this should face serious repercussions. I do.
Premise that it will provide impartial reporting,
Yep.
allowed to splice together content in a way that one of its own advisors said materially misled viewers.
Absolutely, without a question. It was designed to mislead viewers.
And we're not even done yet. The footage Panorama showed of the Proud Boys marching towards the Capitol building,
Oh, no.
seemingly spurred on by Trump's rousing speech. Well, that was actually taken before he'd even addressed the crowd. In fact, the BBC themselves later published a report.
See? It's all about framing. This is what they do. This is what they do.
At odds with Panorama's own timeline.
These are the Proud Boys, another
Yep.
right-wing militia seen a
framing,
little
yes.
earlier that morning.
Out of your boy!
Donald Trump will not appear for another hour or so, but they're already heading towards the Capitol.
They're
Uh-oh.
even timestamped the footage to show that the march began at 10:58 a.m.,
Yes.
well before Trump's midday speech.
Right.
The true chronology raises serious questions about the way in which the BBC decided to portray the events of January the 6th. In fact, the memo highlights that shortly after the first extract of Trump's speech, the now president actually said,
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
The BBC...
Yeah, and everyone on the left is like, nah, that didn't happen. True.
There it is. And this is the thing, is that January 6th obviously was bad, but I don't view January 6th as some kind of unique evil. Whenever you have all of these retards running up and harassing ICE officers and stuff like that, you also have politicians saying that, oh, be peaceful, make your voice heard, etc. January 6th is just another version of that. It is. It was, and the Republicans did it once. The Democrat people do it every single week, multiple times.
Not the exact same thing, Asmongold, but true. True.
So that's what happens. The BBC are state-funded media, by the way. Yeah, I know. I know. Like, I don't think people understand how bad it really is.
Worse, Nary 1449. Worse.
Yeah.
Claimed Panorama's editing was completely misleading.
Of course.
As Trump did not
Absolutely.
explicitly exhort supporters to go down and fight at Capitol Hill. They even pointed out that this was a key reason why he didn't face federal charges
That's
for
right.
incitement to riot. The BBC's Editorial Guidelines and Standards Committee member who wrote this memo raised all of these concerns,
Would he get fired?
among others, with the BBC executive, but they were dismissed, ignored, and even accused of cherry-picking. But this...
See, that's the thing, is you can't go against them, because if they do, then they destroy your reputation and your career. That's what they do.
This isn't the first time we've seen the BBC criticised for selective editing. Cast your mind back to 2007, and you might remember a documentary trailer...
Worse, Nary 1449. There's lots of people in the UK with TTS here.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable because, like, we're America first, and if the UK, every other country is going to be pissed off if the biggest country in the world that they do a lot of trade with now decided to just, like, not be super pro-UK or pro-globalist or whatever, because, like, now they get less benefits, basically. So, yeah, I get it. I get why the UK is, like, kind of pissed off about that. Like, we used to help them out a lot more, or be a little bit more submissive to their demands and stuff. And now we're like, nah, we're gonna focus on ourselves.
1449. You should care for your people first.
Yeah. That's typically how it should be, but Democrats don't feel the same way, so. Honestly, I feel like if you feel that way, then just go to the other country that you want to, like, pretend to, like, act like, oh, we need to have all these deals with this specific country or whatever. Honestly, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
Elizabeth II storming off in the middle of a photo shoot.
It will look better without the crown.
Where's Nary 1449?
Less dressy.
Based.
The garter robe is so strong. Dressy. What do you think this is? What I mean is, if you take the crown off, just for a couple frames.
Yeah, no. I'm not changing anything. I've done enough dressing like this. Thank you very much.
But it was later revealed the clips had been reversed, with the footage showing the late Queen storming off actually...
Wow.
Wow.
So it's a pattern of behavior with this company. BBC just got exposed.
Wow.
The room. And those seemingly cantankerous comments made during the photo shoot?
So different,
well, just some well-intentioned sarcasm.
Yeah, they're laughing.
The Crown Gate...
Where's Nary 1449?
Result?
What?
Yeah, apparently, like, it's a pattern of practice with these guys.
Where's Nary 1449? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't either.
Now, 18 years later, it appears the broadcaster has not learnt its lesson.
No, they're going to keep doing it, and the reason why they do it is they think their message is more important than the truth. So they are more focused around making sure that they spread their message and they push their agenda. That matters more to them than being able to actually tell the truth or represent things correctly. So to them, it might be confusing to you because you're like, well, why are they lying? Well, that's the reason why they're lying, is that they view the truth as downstream from their agenda and their message. So if the truth is conflicting with what the message is, then the truth is basically reinterpreted or misinterpreted.
Where's Nary 1449? Oh dear, rage at the BBC mode. Growling.
Yep.
Reinforce the message.
the truth creates the message. Or sorry, the message creates the truth. The truth does not create the message. That's their value system. That's 99% of all mainstream media, not BBC. Oh, I know. I know. If it was up to me, well, I'll stop myself right there.
If BBC journalists are to be allowed to edit video in order to make people say things they never actually said, then what value are the corporation's guidelines? Why should the BBC be trusted?
The guidelines are created in order to control people who they disagree with.
True.
Every rule is a weapon.
And where will this all end?
It will never end. It will never end. And that's why you need to have oversight.
Remember, those aren't my words. They're the words of someone who sat on the Editorial Standards Committee.
Yep.
Should Tim Davie, the now Director General, face the same level of accountability that Peter Fincham did in 2007?
Worse. Should do worse.
Well, that remains for the BBC to decide. But if members of its own...
And then figuring out inside, look at all the internal communication, figure out the people that were okay with it all the way down the line, fire every single one of them, and tell them that they're lucky it's not worse. That's what I would do.
Editorial Standards Committee have no faith in the broadcaster. You have to ask, should we?
No, you should never. Never. They are absolutely against the people. They are working against them 100%. But it does seem like they have issued an apology. This is it. It's happened.
The letter that has been published by the BBC chairman, Samir...
They get called out and then they issue an apology. All right. Okay. I mean, I'm still not going to trust them, but still.
Shah. It has been published on the Culture, Media and Sport website, and we have it up for you here, where he has written to the chair of the Culture, Media and Sport Committee, wanting to put on record the BBC's position on a number of issues that have been raised in the leak of the letter to the BBC board from Michael Prescott, a former external advisor to the BBC's Editorial Guidelines and Standards Committee.
Of course.
He also wants to address questions that you asked me in the letter, and he said he wants to make
two BBC people have already resigned over this. Good.
Clear that they have taken Mr. Prescott's concerns seriously and considered the points he made carefully. They have met the board to discuss this. He said it is worth stating at the outset that some of the coverage of Mr. Prescott's memo has implied that he has...
The reason why it takes so long for people to fact-check stuff like this is because there's an intentionally created media apparatus that exists for the purpose of misleading you and creating a false reality in order to make you believe something that isn't true. That's the reason why. It's the same reason why when a games journalist brings up an issue with diversity or any DEI stuff, they are immediately met with hate and harassment from people inside of their field, because it's supposed to create a chilling effect inside of the space where nobody is allowed to talk about these topics. That's the reason why it happens, is that you have a propaganda apparatus that is voluntarily opted into, and for the people who don't opt into it, they are pushed out of the apparatus.
1449. They only apologize because they were caught. They don't mean it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold up. Is there a way for me to make it so it doesn't say the numbers? Let's see. Don't die. Huh.
Worse nary 1449. Thieves and liars, but older people were conditioned to trust them.
Yeah. Yep. Yepity yep. Why would they lie about the Queen, though? That's... it's left-wing nonsense. Probably infiltrated by the tankies, anti-government everything, so they hated the Queen or whatever. So they were gonna do that. They're gonna do some video... nonsense with them, which means that they've been doing this for a really long time, which is crazy. All right.
So that's the reason why it happens.
covered a list of stories and issues that the BBC have sought to bury. That interpretation
It's again what I said before about like the message
true.
being more important than
the
the truth.
issues raised by Mr. Prescott are precisely the issues that are being considered by the EGSC and the board. The EGSC is the senior forum in which we scrutinise BBC output when concerns have been raised from either internal or external sources. And
they're quick to arrest their own citizens for offensive speech, but they won't take any action on big media corporations outputting fake news. Yep, I find that very interesting.
Determine what action needs to be taken. Put simply, the committee's job is to examine the bad news, not the good news. Sometimes the mistakes are one-offs, others may point to underlying problems. The job is never complete.
What?
It is only by identifying and highlighting these issues and implementing changes that the BBC demonstrates its commitment to continuous
you never trust these
improvement. Now, he then says another view that has gained currency in the coverage, that the BBC has done nothing to tackle these problems. This is simply not true, he says, as well.
That's true. They have done things to tackle them. They've tried to suppress them as much as possible. By tackling them, you mean taking the problem and then minimizing it as much as possible so people can't see it. Yes, true.
Over the 3 years that Mr. Prescott was an advisor, he says the BBC has published corrections when we've got things wrong. They've changed editorial guidance to make the BBC's position clearer on issues and made changes to leadership where the problems point to underlying issues and carried out formal
Yeah, this building does suck. This building looks like somebody who's just really bad at playing Tetris. That's it. Looks so bad.
During the 3 years Mr. Prescott was an advisor to the committee, the BBC produced thousands of hours of outstanding journalism on television, radio, online, nationally, regionally and internationally. This does not diminish the importance the BBC board places on addressing the issues that Mr. Prescott has raised.
No offense,
it is
UK.
also important that a sense...
No offense. But yeah, that's actually kind of funny. Wait, actually, don't we have buildings like that? No, we actually, well, we have the Pentagon, so it's not like a U shape. And, well, I guess a pentagon would be, whatever. I don't know.
Perspective is maintained.
Yeah, there's the lies that we know about, and there's the lies that we don't know about.
So just to point out to you that what we are reading out to you now is the BBC chair, Samir Shah.
Where's Neri 1449? He should look into the statue.oi.
The statute for what specifically?
This does not diminish the importance the BBC board places on addressing
well,
the issues that Mr. Prescott has raised.
Yeah, they're lying.
But it is also important that a sense of perspective is maintained.
Yeah, there's the lies that we know about, and there's the lies that we don't know about.
So just to point out to you that what we are reading out to you now is the BBC chair, Samir Shah. This is the letter that I have right now from him that we have just seen in the past minute or so to the chair of the Culture, Media and Sport Committee. And also to remind you in context, the BBC Director General Tim Davie and CEO of News Deborah Turnus both resigned on Sunday after a leaked memo.
Where's Neri 1449? On the BBC building. Talk about dodgy.
Oh, the statue on the BBC building. Talk about. Oh, it's probably not in this picture. You're probably talking about something. You've probably seen the actual picture of this. Maybe is that what you're talking about? I don't know.
Where the problems point to underlying.
See, I'll believe that they care about this kind of stuff whenever you start seeing people getting prosecuted for election interference. That's whenever I'll be like, okay, all right, now they're taking it seriously. Until I see Old Testament answers, everything is a lie.
The president made so that it appears that he explicitly encouraged the Capitol Hill riots back in January 2021.
America should start doing that first. I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Other things have been criticised in that memo as well. But here is a reaction that we have been getting now from Samir Shah that I am bringing to you. It's long. I'm trying to take you through the details and bring you the key lines as I see them.
This is just literally them talking. This is so fucking boring. I can't watch this anymore. But yeah, there we go. We've seen it. This is obviously what happened. And now they are apologizing. Big fucking surprise.
There are some
is there any more of this? Yeah, this is the whole thing.
Of some pretty senior named individuals throughout this. We're working through this in real time, Katie, but you know, there's some quite kind of strong views as to how things went wrong from the chairman's perspective.
Well, they went wrong because you have people with biases that are trying to put them into the media. That's the reason why. It's obviously why. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, for them to have tried to defend this edit.
Where's Neri 1449? I'll Discord with you the statue.
Okay.
Argument, I guess. They never had one. I mean, January 6th was really bad, but it's obvious that if anybody has been paying attention for the last year, the overwhelming...
How many times does he have to say January 6th was really bad before people understand that maybe he's not like super partisan hack. Like, how many times does he have to say it before people stop calling him a partisan hack or whatever? Like, it's just stupid.
Majority of, you know, collective political unrest has been by left-wing people, and this has been at the same time as a ton of extra violence. People burning up Teslas, people destroying property, people attacking ICE agents, everything like this. And they're the ones who basically have ownership over this problem. Now, obviously, like, there have been right-wing bad actors too, but if you're talking about collective violence and collective problems, you have BLM, you've had the Tesla burnings, and now you're having the ICE crash outs, and these are all left-wing things.
Where's Nary 1449? They won't stop. But they elect J. Jones.
Elon Musk went and called Donald Trump, or implied that he was a pedo in the Epstein files. Not a single Republican went out and started burning random Teslas and destroying them at dealerships. This is a Democrat problem. And the reason why it is a Democrat problem is because they have convinced themselves that they are fighting against Nazis. They've convinced themselves they are fighting against, you know, fascism, and this is some kind of existential threat that basically, the
so they
ends
restored
justify
it.
means. Anything bad that they do is totally justified because it serves a greater goal of getting rid of something that they view
Hopefully
as
no one saw that.
This is I think it is a unique Democrat problem. Now, when a Republican does something bad, here's the big difference, right? It's not that Republicans don't do anything bad, but when a Republican does something bad, everybody generally says, oh, okay, that's really bad. But the problem is that Democrats look to try to, you know, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter that much. Who cares? And I think that is radicalized.
Where's Nary
a lot of people.
1449? Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I probably should have just looked at it before throwing it. It's not your fault. It's my fault.
I'll view that, and we can contrast this now. Which, you remember whenever they had all those text message leaks, and it was all those young Republican people talking about how much they like Hitler, and nobody really cared about that anymore. And the reason why, it's because left-wing people have established basically a standard, and now right-wing people are living up to it. So you have all these conservatives that are saying this crazy stuff, and there's never a point of moral authority that, you know, any liberal can have when you're the one justifying, you know, shutting down a college, or you're the one justifying being violent to an officer, or you're the one justifying, you know, destroying property, somebody's car, or something like that. They all got blacklisted and fired from their jobs. Yes, but I understand that structurally, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened to them. What matters is how the public perceives it. And I think that this is continuing to become the case. I think that any conservative at this point should totally stop purity testing, because left-wing people don't purity test themselves. And if you allow other people to create the optics for...
I mean, to be fair, Wick TV, where is he? Yeah, this guy, he does do a good job at holding his side accountable. So it's not like they don't do it. It's just that they're very far and few between. Like, this guy barely has any subscribers. Like, he's relevant. I would consider him really relevant. I like Wick TV. He's fun. He's cool. I disagree with him, but he's cool. I'm gonna give it a like regardless. But like, it's not really fair to say that nothing has been going on. Oh wait, that was just a sidetrack. So we're gonna go back to
I'm
gonna let him finish cooking, and then I'll go back to the original video.
Doing is you're allowing your enemy to define how you lose. And basically, you can see how they had no problem voting for Jay Jones, right? This is a guy that, like, fantasized about killing, you know, his political opponent's children. Well, if you're going to vote for that person and you're not going to have people withdraw their nominations from them, well, then I don't want to hear from you about how bad it is that somebody said something bad in a group chat. Like, you've just lost all of your right to be able to be any sort of moral authority on this topic, period. It's total bullshit.
True. All right, let's go back to the other video.
Do the crazy shit.
To be fair, this was after 4 years of them.
Let's go back a little bit.
Do that. I didn't see that happen with Tesla bombings. I don't see that happen. That people like Jones.
That is, he was asking politicians not to certify Joe Biden.
Yes.
That's insane. That is insane. And so they do the extreme shit. They do the crazy.
Not as insane as these. No, I'm not saying
To be fair, this was after 4 years of them trying to delegitimize Trump's presidency by him being connected to Russia.
True. So it's not like this is like, it's not like this weird not my president rhetoric just came out of nothing. So like, yeah.
Happened even before he became president, that they were trying to delegitimize him.
Yep,
so
true.
I don't think that 2020, the election there,
I don't think that was the culmination of election denial. I think that it started with Donald Trump. Now, I'd say 2012, like when was the last election? I guess 2000 was a little bit uncertain because of the hanging Chad thing with like Gore and Bush. But overall, before that, I mean, I feel like most elections, people pretty much accepted them. But I would say that even with denying the election, there was, remember the hashtag not my president, where people were saying that, oh, he's just, got elected because of Russia. So really, I mean, while I do say that January 6th was a bad thing, I don't think that, again, Republicans did not invent
this is not a unique thing to the Republicans. Come on now.
Election denial. I think that Democrats at that. So really, I mean, while I do say that January 6th was a bad thing, I don't think that, again, Republicans did not invent election denial. I think that Democrats at that point had spent 4 years doing it with Donald Trump to begin with.
Yep.
And it turned out that all that, by the way, was bullshit.
Yep.
He will not divide.
Oh, but then Destiny will be like, but what about those Facebook ads? There's Facebook ads. Oh, the Facebook ads do nothing. There's Facebook ads. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. What Facebook ads? You're gonna spurg out on like some random thing that literally means nothing? Yeah, they found something, some Facebook. It's like someone saying that you're wasting food when you bite into a chip and then a couple crumbs come down your face. Like, yeah, you're wasting food, man. You're wasting food. You bite into a chip and a couple crumbs come out of your mouth. Like, they just come out. They just, like, you bite, crumbles, and then a little bit of particulates fall out. And you can kind of visually see it, but they're so small that most people would just not know that it just falls onto your shirt and everything. But like, yeah, no, you're wasting food though, bro. Like, Destiny's the guy that's saying you're wasting food in that analogy, which is funny.
Yep, there it is.
But somehow, we're the problem?
Really weird how he's celebrating ACA while also celebrating the assassination of a CEO who benefited the most from things like ACA. I don't know if he celebrated the Luigi stuff. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. And see, this is why I like Asmond. He's not going to go, like, his chat is going to point and allude to something that may be a conspiracy theory that he has no idea. Maybe he said it, maybe he didn't. But he's not going to be like, you know what? He's not going to be like, have confirmation bias and just automatically just assume the worst thing possible about this Kyle Kulinski guy. He's going to moderate the position, be like, he doesn't know. I don't know. So we don't need to talk about that. Just move on.
We're the ones who never fucking criticize our own? Are you kidding me? How quickly do Democrats throw each other under the bus?
Not quickly enough with Jay Jones, for example, and that one just happened. Yeah, you can go back and find an example of something stupid that happened during Obama, but I can go back a week ago and find something stupid that you guys did.
True.
That's the problem.
True.
Remember Al Franken? Al Franken was a senator. There was a picture that he took where he was like fake grabbing somebody's titty while they were sleeping. That picture came out. He used to be a comedian, by the way. He didn't actually touch the woman, but it was like fake grabbing the titty and like...
Who is this guy? Do we know him? I don't know him.
Laughing at it and joking about it. He had to fucking resign. Because other Democrats threw him immediately under the bus. Are you out of your minds? I keep saying minds. Are you out of your mind? I mean, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Nothing could be further from the truth. It was Donald Trump who came along, and he sort of defined this idea of be a bull in a china shop. Never fucking apologize. Always plow through.
He did apologize for the grab her by the pussy thing. He did apologize for that.
But... Wait, yeah, he did actually. Trump did apologize for that, and Destiny actually was so surprised when he saw the video. Like, he was in like utter disbelief for seeing the video, which was hilarious. But oh wait, can I find that clip? Can I find that?
Book project. Was not a perfect partner.
Okay, no, this is when he starts reading off like a novel or whatever. Let's see. Nah, I won't be able to find it. Whatever. Let's just keep going.
I don't think he meant it, but he did apologize.
And then eventually people just move on and you're good. So he started that. We're just getting to the time now where Democrats are finally catching up.
I don't really think that's entirely true. I feel like Hillary Clinton said a number of bad things about Trump voters as well.
True.
Like, it's pretty common.
up to that, right? That's just starting to happen now. And thank fucking God it is. Because here's the deal. We can only have civility and decorum if both sides agree to civility and decorum.
Oh my God.
It's that simple. As soon as the Republicans go, fuck you, then we have to say fuck you back. It's like with the gerrymandering fight.
Okay.
By the way, Asmon, who's the one that gerrymandered first? It was Texas and the Republicans that said, we're just going to gerrymander and steal a bunch of...
Gerrymandering, how long? Wait, hold up. Who gerrymandered first? Okay. When was gerrymandering implemented? 1812. I wonder who did it first. Okay, good one. So Texas did it first. Texas did it first.
How about the recent one?
Democratic seats and turn them Republican.
Well, I mean, wait a minute. Stealing? Gerrymander is fundamentally fucking stealing, by the way. And both Democrats and Republicans do this.
Yeah, true.
They've been doing this for fucking ever.
Yep.
Greg Abbott did that because Trump told him to do that. And then
True, and he should have done it. And all the other Republican states should do it too.
That had to happen before fucking you had Newsom step up and say, all right, if you're going to do that, then we're going to counter gerrymander in California.
Which, by the way, this is a shadow argument that he's fighting against. I never criticized Gavin Newsom for doing that.
True.
I never said that. Of course I understand why he'd want to do that. Of course you're going to want to consolidate power for your side. Obviously.
Worsenary 1449. California 40% Republican, about 7% of the seats, 2024.
Yeah. So, but Kyle's thing is basically his whole thing is that, well, Texas did it first and that's why California decided to do it now. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But he's trying to make it seem like gerrymandering is this crazy thing that people should not do, but the United States have been doing this since 1812 apparently. So this is just a moot point. It's like, oh, but they did it first. I mean, everyone has been doing it for a really long time. No one at this, like, who cares if someone did something first over 200 years ago? Like, come on now.
Worsenary 1449.
So I didn't say that.
CA already gerrymandered.
That's not even it.
Yeah, they've already been. They've always been.
The Democrats didn't start that.
This.
Republicans started that. We responded in kind.
That's bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you guys want to do Proposition 50? That's fine. Yeah, okay. Sure. I think that's fair.
Democrats and liberals and leftists responded in kind.
Yeah.
So he has it exactly wrong. He has it exactly.
That's not even what I'm saying.
True.
These motherfuckers are unhinged and out of control and radical. And because of that, we have been dragged into having to do the same to keep things even Stevens.
You're completely right. All of the Republican crash outs, all of the massive protests that Republicans are having, destroying, throwing bricks at people at ICE, trying to get in front of the cars, screaming at them, destroying property. Again, going back to the BLM riots, burning down Teslas, killing Charlie Kirk. I mean, there were 2 assassinations on Trump as well, or at least attempts.
That's all Republicans right there. True.
I mean, at what point?
That's Republican violence.
I mean, how long can this go on for, guys? How long can we just keep making up bullshit? The ICE attacks. Yeah, exactly. What is going on with this?
Because if they're going to gerrymander, we say we're not going to do it on principle, then they just
Nobody said that. Nobody. This is the argument that I never made.
Everything, period, as far as the eye can see. In a very weird way, once the other side starts cheating, in order to make it more fair, you also have to start cheating. Once they start being insane, to keep it fair, you also have to be equally insane in the opposite direction.
Okay. I mean, but let's be honest, Kyle. You guys were going to be insane no matter what.
True.
It might be convenient that Republicans do some things that are insane, but you were going to be insane anyway, all right? Let's be real.
Like, it's the only way to do it. And again, he flips it and pretends like it's the Democrats who are totally unhinged, and that made the Republicans radicalized. Get the fuck out of here. Also,
well, I think if you want to talk about a policy decision that's like very unhinged that makes people radicalized, I think that a good example of that is the trans in sports.
So, especially also like trans kids using.
Now, every Democrat, this food shops person, when she heard Asmongold say that, she like died on the inside.
Bathrooms.
It was really entertaining to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
You can make an argument that this isn't really a big issue, but if it's not a big issue, then why are you fighting it so much? So
true. It's not a big issue, but it keeps coming up.
I think that that's a radicalization issue that does affect average people, that makes people think that Democrats are ideologues and disconnected from reality. So if you're trying to make an argument that, for example, biological men should compete with biological women in sports, especially in high school sports or middle school sports, you're really kind of, this is, in my opinion, that argument is of the same validity of flat Earth. This is a flat Earth argument. So if a person gives an argument like that, it is so radical and so extreme and so devoid of any logic, rationality, biology, science, or even common sense, that you have to assume that this person's mental facilities are compromised and you can't trust other things that they're going to say. That's the big difference. And so I think he's using examples of policy things, and the examples he used were bad. But I'll give him an example that actually does make sense, that does radicalize, I think, Republicans in a lot of cases. And I think that's a great example of it. And so, like, that's one of the things that I think people see that, and they're like, what the fuck? This is so crazy. This is so extreme. Nobody could actually believe this. And then they go all the way. That's it. I just don't see how wanting to remove people who are here illegally is the same as trying to hurt people who are just doing their job fulfilling that. Well, it's because, so you have to understand that Kyle would never want an illegal immigrant or somebody living in his house without his permission. I don't think he would want that. However, he has no problem letting people live in other areas that he's probably has nothing to do with. Like, I mean, Kyle's a relatively successful YouTube guy. He does well for himself. I'm sure he makes a lot of money. And he probably lives in an area where there is a minimal amount of friction that's been caused by illegal migration. And he also has a job that is in no risk of being displaced by illegal migration either. So really, you have somebody who's totally disconnected from this issue that is telling other people that they should necessarily, they should deal with it, right? And so this is the person you're watching, by the way. Who is this? This land is by the Colorado border plain. It's pretty cool. I have no idea why it looks like this. It's called farming. Wow. Can you believe that? Oh, God. Yeah, this is the guy. Yep, there he is. Oh, jeez. What?
That's just sad. The guy that's calling Asmongold an idiot had no idea what farming looked like.
What a guy, huh? How about that? Delete your account. Yeah. So I
that was from 2019, so he probably, maybe he's figured it out since then.
I hope he's farming now. Maybe he's learned.
Seem like, Republicans are put upon to have to condemn a Republican group chat where they were loving Hitler. That should be easy. That should be a low fucking bar, bro.
Yeah, not as low as wanting to, have the kids of people that you disagree with politically be killed. No, I think loving Hitler is bad. Absolutely, it's bad. But if you're not willing to condemn somebody who fantasizes about having the children of his political opponents killed, then how can you expect anybody else to capitulate to what you want?
True.
I mean, what are we doing here? It's a joke, yeah. And also, all of those people, here's what's funny about it, is that all of those people from that group were removed. They were removed from that, I think it was like a Young Republican Society or something like that. They were all removed. So for a joke, they got removed. For telling the truth in private, Jay Jones got elected to Attorney General. Well, I think that we have a problem.
Yeah.
Here.
But to them, it's not.
You have all these conservatives that are saying... When did he defend Jay Jones? Well, that's the main person I'm talking about, right? And it was in the context of that. this crazy stuff, and there's never a point of moral authority that any liberal can have when you're the one justifying shutting down a college, or you're the one justifying being violent to an officer. Or
you're confused. I'm talking about the like whenever the pro-Palestine protesters came to like places like UCLA, and they were violent towards other people that were trying to just do their work. They blocked access to certain buildings. They destroyed property, and they didn't follow police orders. That was. I know we might be confused by that, but that's what I was discussing.
The one justifying, destroying property, somebody's car, something like that. They all got blacklisted and fired from their jobs. Yes, but I understand that structurally, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened to them. What matters is how the public perceives it. And I think that this is continuing to become the case. I think that any conservative at this point should totally stop purity testing, because left-wing people don't purity test themselves. And if...
He's so mad. Okay, all right, let's hear it. Okay, here we go.
Oh, my God.
Let's go.
The extent to which this guy has no fucking idea what he's talking about, it's like he
Okay, I get it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm an idiot. I'm a big stupid. Okay, let's hear why.
True.
Got into politics 7 seconds ago.
Okay.
Like, literally just 7 seconds ago, he was like,
And I'm not saying true because, well, yes. Actually, no, I am saying true because Asmon is literally saying, oh, yeah, all you've been doing is basically just calling him dumb and not actually giving any real arguments. So, like, are you going to say anything more substantive, or are you just going to keep name calling? Because, like, that doesn't mean anything.
Politics,
True.
what's that? I have opinions on it.
Great. Let's hear yours.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. That's the thing that gets me. Is
here's what I think is very interesting. Even using his own argumentation, doesn't that make him look kind of stupid? Is that even from somebody who's been involved in politics for 17 seconds, even they can tell that there's obviously a massive discrepancy here. There's obviously a huge double standard that's at play. And I think the whole country can see it. So maybe you're too involved. Maybe you're in too deep, and you're not able to just see the reality of it.
Yeah, actually, true.
Sounds like your chatter's calling you wrong. Yeah. Well, maybe this is where they learned it from. He also commented on Jay Jones.
I just say he's wrong and you win the argument. True.
Immediately dismissing it.
It was about mass shootings, and it was about his opponent's kids. It was like the only way they'd understand the pain of that is if their kids got killed, right? Basically saying, like, you're not...
That's not what he said.
Typical Republican, you're not going to support legislation to, change everybody's reality when it comes to gun violence unless and until it impacts you. So Republicans lied about that and pretended like he wants to murder the kid of his opponent. That's bullshit. Everybody knows that's bullshit. But that's what they ran with, and the texts were so bad that people thought, oh, this will be a layup for Republicans. Wrong. So the betting markets had the Republican favorite to win for so fucking long, and literally just last night as the results started rolling in, boom, it flipped. And then Jay Jones ended up winning. That really...
Well, I guess that sure proves me wrong. Wow. Yeah, that's totally not what I was talking about at all, right, guys?
True.
Yeah, we saw the text messages.
I know he knows. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
You allow other people to create the optic.
By the way, just total aside about how I don't know what I'm talking about at all. Literally no examples, no reason for saying this, just that I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess either my chatters learned it from him or he learned it from my chatters. Doesn't even address what I said. No, he doesn't even address it.
For you, all you're doing is you're allowing your enemy to define how you lose. And basically, you can see how they had no problem voting for Jay Jones, right? This is a guy that
I noticed that your channel could benefit from a larger audience to help.
He wasn't. If that's a fucking lie,
Don't do
lying.
It, chat.
You're lying. He's.
Don't do it, chat. Wait, what happened?
All right,
hold up.
Worsenary 1449 says.
There we go.
So,
CA already
if you refer
gerrymandered.
over here to the text messages. So these are the leaked text messages that Jay Jones had. If those guys...
Ooh, well, that's going to be kind of difficult. Oh, wait, can I just... Oh, okay, all right. So I just need to... Okay, all right.
Die before me, I will go to their funerals and piss on their graves. Send them out awash in something. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets in the head. So not only is he talking, and this is also multiple, because they are those guys, this is plural, right? So he's talking about multiple people. And then I wasn't attacking you, I was trying to understand your logic. And I've told you this before, you were talking about how
So, right here, you were talking about hoping that Jennifer Gilbert's children would die.
Sounds pretty extreme.
No problem voting for Jay Jones, right? This is a guy that like fantasized about killing, his political opponent's children.
He wasn't. Are you? If that's a fucking lie, you're.
Do you know who disagrees with Kyle? Jay Jones. Jay Jones disagrees with you.
True.
He says, yes, I've told you this before. Guys, don't listen to Jay Jones about what Jay Jones said. No, no, no. Listen to me, and I'm going to tell you what he really meant to say.
True.
This is the text message. It's right here. Oh, wait. I'll go even farther here. And then so there isn't a point blank. I'm questioning, do I think that Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? And this is Todd and Jennifer. Jennifer again. There it is again. Breeding little fascists, yes. And this is him talking about you were hoping that their children would die. You tripled down. Yeah, exactly. Guys, but hey, don't believe any of this, okay? It's all a lie. Jay Jones actually was lying in his private text messages to somebody else that got leaked later on. And Kyle actually knows what he meant to say, though.
True.
Todd Gilbert was his opponent. Oh, I understand that. Yeah, don't listen to Jay Jones. He's taking his own words out of context. Like, he literally goes, like, here, one more time. About killing, his political opponent's children.
He wasn't. Are you? If that's a fucking lie, you're lying. You're lying. He said shit like,
yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. As a response to, you were talking about hoping her children would die.
Yep.
You just look it up. Like, why would you even say this? This is the guy.
Now, the sad part is that Kyle has deluded himself into his worldview so much that he would read those texts and be like, and completely ignore all of everything and only read, like, wait, what? And only read, like, the, which part? Completely ignore this part, right? Just, you were talking about hoping the children would die, and completely ignored that part, and then ignored this word, yes, and just go like, I've told you this before, only when people feel personal pain do they move on policy, and just read this, and that's it. The yes part for this question, that didn't exist. Nah, that doesn't exist. Doesn't mean anything. It's out of context. Him saying that is out of context. True. Like, they would just they would look at all this and completely ignore that, and it's hilarious. And actually, you know what? I think I'm done. With this confirmation bias. I'm getting bored of this confirmation bias. We'll continue watching this, but we're only like halfway through it. Maybe we'll finish this. This was like literally the best part. Actually, the better parts. Let me see. I think it was towards the end. There was some really good smug parts that were actually so good.
And you take what he's saying seriously.
The examples used, by the way, were just totally, like, not even things that happened. Like, they're like, yeah, like, for example, this thing that the meteorologist said that, it didn't happen. Yeah, okay, well, what about this other thing? Oh, yeah, the thing where yeah.
That's worse
Sure.
than watching nothing. Than just, like, being totally ignorant. Like, you're better off being totally ignorant.
Yeah, the old phrase, if you watch the news, you're misinformed. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. Yeah, it's very common.
You'll have a better understanding of the political world if you're totally ignorant than watching this guy.
So, wait a minute. Didn't this totally, like, I'm just... So, if I had a better view of the world... So, didn't he call me totally ignorant? But then you said totally ignorant people are going to have a better view of the world. So, which one is it? Very interesting, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
All right, there you have it, guys. There you have it. All right, you guys know I love you. Thank you, as always, for watching. You guys can subscribe to the channel, support the show on Patreon.
Why are you moving like this? Holy shit. Who's drinking too many energy drinks?
sign up for Crystal Kylan.
There's nothing wrong with energy drinks.
On Substack.
Yeah.
You could go sub to Corin's World and come watch us live when we do Kylan Corin's on every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's all I got for you, man. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well.
I missed it. I missed it, didn't I?
Concentration camps and sent people there.
Literally. By the way, a lot of those camps were built by Obama. Like those kids, the whole kids in cages. Guess who built those?
Yeah. I mean, actually,
Obama.
we'll just start here.
His boy.
With no due process. They're not the problem.
Which, by the way, Obama was right in doing that. Good call. W. Obama.
True.
I didn't hear what he said.
People there with no due process. They're not the problem. The problem is how uncivil the Democrats are.
Well, uncivil. Yes, I would consider burning down cars and violently throwing bricks at police officers as being uncivil. I would say this is a little bit ungentlemanly.
True.
You don't need to do that. They get due process. I mean, again, whether they do or don't. I mean, I don't even really... If somebody's in the country illegally, I think that process is already just...
Actually.
Been done. Okay, there is the due process.
Yeah, the whole due process argument is kind of dumb because, like, they're not arguing for due process. They're arguing that they want their type of due process. Like, they get their due process. It's just that they just don't like how fast the due process is, basically. That's basically the argument against it. Like, they didn't get their due process. No, you just don't like how quick it was. So,
you're illegal? Okay, now you're gone. Due process is done.
True.
And also, by the way, if that's not the case, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Like, what are we doing here? No due process? Why the hell Democrats don't sue them then? Yeah, I guess so.
Uncivil Democrats are radicalizing the Republicans. It's not the other way around. It's not that it's the Republicans radicalizing the Democrats, finally, to fucking wake up and take this fascist threat seriously.
Oh, here we go.
They blew themselves
Kyle
up.
doesn't care about fascism. Kyle wants to be the one in control of the fascism. That's why he said, oh, it's a good thing that now we voted for Jay Jones. You're not against killing your political opponents. You just don't want to be killed. You have no problem voting for the guy that is talking about killing your political opponents.
Yep.
But you're also against fascism. No. These people don't hate the police. They want to be the police. These people don't hate fascism. They want to be the fascists. You're mad that the shoe's on the other foot. You're not mad about the shoe.
Yeah.
Fucking do the right things. Fight back against Trump, all of his illegal wars and all of his fucking insane immigration policy. No, it's not that. Can't be that.
Illegal wars and say, okay, yep, great. Okay. You're just going to add this in at the end of the video.
That, of course.
Yes.
I mean, God damn it, man. God fucking damn it.
You're wearing a watch in your own house? Jesus. Jesus, what a performance. What a performance. Wow. Good job.
How can anybody watch this?
Oh,
I really hope
missed
that nobody's
it.
watching this and like taking...
I missed this. Wait, hold up.
Good job.
How can anybody watch this? I really hope that nobody's watching this and like taking this political stuff seriously. I really hope so.
Uh-huh.
Because
No. I mean, actually, a lot of people are taking this what Asmongold is saying seriously. So, boo-hoo, cry me a river. Cry me a river. True. I don't want to die. Okay, I guess we're done with this. There was another point. Was it here? Because he basically started making fun of like Asmon's like apparel and stuff like that.
not even think twice about it. Meanwhile, who's the biggest commentator on the right these days? Nick Fuentes. Here's some stuff Nick Fuentes has said. Quote, Hitler was really fucking cool. I admire Hitler. I don't care that much.
Yeah, what does Nick Fuentes have to do with anything that Asmongold has ever said or talked about? Nothing. Basically nothing. Or nothing, honestly. So we're just going to skip that.
About the genocide in Gaza. He said, right to vote. Boys and girls should get married.
And how many crazy leftist people are out there? Oh, but Hassan said this thing. What the fuck does that have to do with me?
True. Yep.
But,
But Nick said this thing. Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, like,
I love fucking the core of what we believe.
Okay.
What we believe is
basically a fucking welfare for these companies.
No.
Hey,
I actually agree with him on
paternity leave.
Yeah, that's great. You agree with him. That's good. That's good. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for when he starts bashing you for like how you look.
Guys like this. It's just
you can't because again by 20 things again. They're also including right-wing violence in prisons. They don't want to hear that. That's it. Stop throwing bricks at police. Some crazy shit.
Police yourself, you bitch.
I feel like it's such a low bar.
All right, I think this might be it.
Tone police yourself, you bitch. What'd he say? He said something really atrocious.
I did. That's why I apologized.
True.
I just wish you guys could do the same thing.
Yes, I don't remember the specifics, but it was something like, I don't feel bad at all, talking about the dead people in Gaza. I don't feel bad at all. Then he went on to say something like they're inferior. They're an inferior people. They're an inferior culture or something like that. I mean, I have nothing but disdain and scorn for such a smug
I would have never guessed.
Prick. Who, by the way, is also quite judgmental considering...
I love... How is it that I'm the smug and judgmental one? Meanwhile, you're sitting in your house, and you obviously you're I mean, let's be real, okay? Being a smug, judgmental prick. You're sitting in your house. You record these videos behind all of the books that maybe you've read, maybe you haven't read. It doesn't really matter. You're very obviously trying to portray yourself and present yourself as this intellectual person and create a degree of authority. And that's why you're wearing a suit. That's why you've got all the books behind you. That's why you got the spray tan on. Like, everything that you're doing here is a performance in order for people to think that you're more authoritative than you are. And that's totally fine for you to do that. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear that I'm the one that's smug while I'm sitting here in a white t-shirt in my mom's attic from some guy who's sitting in his living room wearing a suit with a bunch of books behind him so he can appear to look like he's authoritative. I don't want to hear that. If anybody's smug, it's you.
True.
Okay? And this is not even a personal thing. It's just an objective fact. I mean, what are we talking about here?
It's just an objective. I mean, yeah. Who's gonna naturally?
Mercenary 1449. He is smug defined.
Yeah, literally. With the spray tan. The spray tan. He has the Trump spray tan. Okay, now we're done. We're done with this video. This is the part that made me want to watch this on stream, honestly.
What is this? He's not wearing shorts? I don't know. Maybe he's wearing a full pantsuit. Maybe he's wearing underwear underneath. I don't want to know. I don't know.
He's got cockroaches and fucking rats and shit in the background.
Oh. As opposed to you. Like, you know what I could do? This is what I could do. So I could...
Remember, this Asmongold character, he has a lot... He's like a multi-millionaire, I think, right? Yeah, he's a multi-millionaire. But he still lives in his mom's attic with a white t-shirt. So, like, what he's going to say, he could easily do.
Actually get a bunch of books and then put them behind me, and I could wear a suit, too.
True.
I could do that. Would you like that? Would that make you take me more seriously? Would that make you listen more?
And he's notorious for like never showering and stuff like that.
I do shower sometimes, just not every day or every week.
I can't with this stuff. So yeah. Apparently, according to Asmongold,
that's right.
It's not the people who have literally built concentration camps and sent people.
A concentration camp. You're evoking the Nazis and the Holocaust in order to discuss detaining people that are in our country illegally.
True.
You know the Holocaust killed, it was like 15 million people or 20 million people? It's just such a massive, like, collectively, right? You talk about like the 6 or 7 million Jewish people that were killed all the time, right? But collectively, he killed, was it 11? I thought it was like 15 or something like that. But it was over 10 million, right? It was over 10 million people were killed. And I don't want to argue
just
about
look at
the
his
6,
chat.
7. Okay, guys. All right, let's stop with that.
So my point is, though, that you're eliciting Nazi concentration camps to discuss people that are being, basically held in an area. Also,
all right, yeah, we're done. We're done. We're gonna go to this. We got our confirmation bias. We're now gonna switch gears. And you know what? I'm gonna switch games too because I am bored of Astroneer. Yeah, we're gonna watch this.
We just had a socialist elected to be mayor of the biggest financial city in the world. What do you take away from that? Do you think that that's going to make New York City better? Is this a good direction for the Democrat Party or else?
I feel like everybody's over-indexing on this election a lot based on what they want to see. The far left people online are saying this is the proof of concept that the whole Democratic Party is going to go to the socialist direction. I think conservatives are saying this is evidence of Islamic jihadists winning elections, or see, that's the really ridiculous. Other people saying like, oh, the whole Democratic Party is becoming socialist. But I mean, it's New York City.
Yeah, we're just going to completely forget about the part where like they literally have
I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in. Oh, I guess Destiny's agreeing with Trump, right? True. Let me get this out of the way.
It's a very blue place. He won his primary. When the primary was won, he was basically going to win. Cuomo probably not the best person to try to run against him for that. It's not his time anymore. I think Mamdani ran a good campaign. Stuff is funny. If you watch the videos, I almost feel like I'm watching cutouts from like The Daily Show from like the 2000s. He's a funny dude. He's good on camera, which is one of the most important things, unfortunately, in today's media environment. So yeah, I think it'll probably more or less be business as usual in New York City, for better or for worse.
Do you think it'll be business as usual because he'll be stuck?
I wonder how Destiny's tone is going to change from Mamdani. Damn, I can't even say the name properly. After like this was before the meeting with Trump, so I want to see how he changes his tone, or he completely ignores that Mamdani even exists.
Stymied and he won't be able to get the policies through. Do you think it'll be business as usual because he calms down some of the more what I would call socialist, like just blatantly socialist rhetoric? What's going to make it be business as usual?
Generally, the left doesn't overstep their legal authority, like I would say MAGA or the right does. So I think that for a lot of stuff, it's just not going to be possible. He's not going to have the funding or the legal authority for it. And then for other stuff, I mean, I don't know. I welcome it. He's significantly to the left of me on a lot of economic policy. So if he tries stuff and it fails, then I just point to that and go, look, like these are bad ideas. We shouldn't do them anymore. If he tries it and it works, then maybe I reconsider. I'm like, oh, maybe somehow there's some kind of external force that makes it so the city backing grocery stores or the city, investing more in like rent control property is actually a good thing. And then I would change my views on it. So.
And how are you approaching the issue? So are you looking at this going, okay, well, the economy is obviously broken. We obviously need to do something different. I have a rough idea of what we should do, but hey, if he's got ideas, let him go at it. Or are you approaching this from a building the economy sort of brick by brick, these things adhere to a set of rules? And I think that the way he's positioning this, it's more in line with the way that economies work.
I don't know if we've talked about this personally or on camera before, but have we ever talked about the concept of like red teaming?
Yes. I don't know that we've talked about it. I'm intimately familiar.
Yeah. I don't know if like real stuff can happen without red teaming. And I kind of view politics very similarly, like left to their own devices. I don't know if either political party could figure stuff out on their own. I feel like having another side there to kind of keep you honest and to kind of check you on a lot of things is where the best kinds of discussion happen. And I would obviously say that the right has completely abandoned all forms of policy conversation for the past year. So I don't think we're even remotely able to approach solving any of the economic issues that we have right now in this country because there's no serious way to have a conversation about it. I don't consider like super big price control policy to be a serious way of dealing with stuff like housing or cost of living, but there's like no counterpart to that right now. So yeah.
What do you mean there's no counterpart to it?
As in, I don't know there's not a serious policy discussion about what do we do about housing in the United States. No, but.
Oh, okay. All right. So there is a counterpart. It's just that Dusty doesn't think it's serious. Okay. Good one.
We're not capable of having that conversation right now because it's a very difficult conversation.
And obviously we all care about what we think Destiny thinks is serious, right? Yeah, true. Because yeah, I'm just I'm not gonna go there. Never mind.
That's going to require some pain in different areas that people aren't willing to give on, I guess. Like for instance, like when it comes to housing, people the thing that you keep hearing over and over again is that housing's unaffordable, rents are too high. You hear that. That's like the popular talking point. The reality point is that it's like 70% of Americans live in an owned home. So, and these are your strongest voters, because people that have houses are probably older, they're more committed to an area, they're more likely to go out and vote. If you want to bring down rents, or if you want to bring down the cost of housing, you are necessarily hurting the people that already have homes. And I've never heard a single politician confront that reality. So there's a delusional fantasy where people pretend that they can protect homeowners, which are some of the most like loyal, like voting-based people, but you can also bring down rents and the price and cost of housing for everybody else, which is not possible. And also the people that get hurt the most by high costs of housing are people who aren't even capable of voting, because technically the people that are hurt the most are people who aren't even able to move to an area because the cost of housing is prohibitively high. So it's a really weird, housing is a weird issue that's hard to solve in a democratic manner.
If I'm tracking what you're saying, the reason that it's hard to solve in a democratic manner is because the very people that want the policies to be strict, the NIMBYism, not in my backyard, those people are always going to try to vote it down. They have the most political power. They're older, they're more entrenched, more connected, all of that. They've got more money to back elections. So all of that momentum pushes them in the direction of not only voting against reform policies, but they have the power to like see it all the way through the system.
Yeah, and it's in their interest to do so. They should be voting that way, technically. They would be making a sacrifice to vote otherwise. Imagine you buy a home, and then the next week they talk about building massive high-rises, in your area. Well, that's going to bring the cost of your house down, or it's not going to go up as quickly. You don't want that. Like, now that you have a home, like, you want to, how many people say the house is the most important investment or the largest investment of any American? Well, I don't want you to build a whole bunch of new properties that are going to drive down rents and ultimately the cost of real estate. So you become incentivized to vote against the greater interest of the economy of the city, whatever, in favor of protecting your own narrower interest of your particular housing price.
It's interesting. You're very right about that. And I think one of the reasons that the capitalist system works is because we're saying humans are selfish creatures. If you create a structure in which they can just go be selfish and we get to take advantage of the outcomes of all that selfish behavior, look at Elon Musk, right, doing all this incredible stuff that's moving us forward from a technological standpoint.
True.
Also making him fantastically wealthy, putting him in a position where he can control like just these armies of people building all this incredible stuff. He can get his agenda done. He can influence politics, all of it. Okay, so cool. There's obviously many people that are going to argue about his level of influence and all that, but the system allowed for somebody like that to pursue their selfish interests, and it kicks off all this technology along the way. The catch becomes, from where I'm sitting, is that when I look at the NIMBYism, there is a point at which so many things have come together where everybody is pushing for only their sole interest that we begin to bake into the structure of the economic system itself all these deranging elements. And then it's like, yeah, you can point at housing and you can say, hey, well, it's really in your best interest to do this. But once everybody is acting like that at every level, and everybody is solidifying power and voting for things that are good for only them, and then they don't realize they're disenfranchising the young, and that there's a historical pattern that says you do not want to disenfranchise the young, as they will completely flip the tables over and they will come for your head, that's where this starts to get problematic. And so getting people to understand that the economy is broken in exactly the way that someone like Mamdani is pointing out, he's right. Like, he's got his finger on the right problem, but his solutions are disastrous. And this is one where we'll differ in that you're very sanguine. You see maybe a positive thing coming out of this. And I just look at history and I'm like, this loop has played out so many times, and it becomes way dangerous long before anybody learns their lesson, because they're not looking, they don't have a metric that they could say, oh, I'm just going to watch this metric. I'm going to try the policy. I'm going to watch this metric. And we can all agree that's a great metric, right? Yay. And then when that metric doesn't go up, they just end up blaming something else. They don't go, yeah, okay, this policy really just doesn't work, which is a fascinating part of, I've heard you lament recently about some of the, you didn't say emotional difficulties, I'm putting that phrase in your mouth, but the emotional difficulties of being a political streamer, I'm running into those same things. So for me, I'm butting up against something there where I look at this, it feels very dark, it feels very dangerous. It feels like there's this thing happening, a slide to the far left that sets off all these alarm bells in my head. And I cannot figure out how to get people to build a vision of the economy from the standpoint of cause and effect. So it's interesting to map out the way that you're looking at it. This is a red team moment. We need somebody to run the experiment. Nobody's having serious policy conversations. We're in gridlock. People are sort of doing what they're supposed to be doing, voting for their own interests. And so now this is sort of a natural beat in all of this, where somebody comes in to try a new policy that hopefully will break up the distortions that have worked their way into the system.
Sure. To be clear, I don't think this is a red team moment. The red team I was hoping for was supposed to be the Conservative Party, or at least more conservative people. And I feel like they've completely abandoned the policy discussion. So.
And they would red team socialism? What would they red team?
Or I wouldn't say socialism, but just more, I guess, like further left economic idea stuff.
You want them to, because
like on a very broad, on a very basic broad sense, the the further left you go, the more price control-y people get, meaning setting artificial caps on things, like saying insulin shouldn't cost this much, it should be set at this price, or they'll set price, they'll bring up a price floor, like the minimum wage should be this high. And the further away your price controls get from market equilibrium, the further your market is distorted, and then other things start to happen to compensate. So, for instance, if you bring down the price of insulin too much, maybe companies don't produce it anymore because it's no longer financially worthwhile. Or if you bring up the cost of minimum wage too much, maybe companies start paying more and more employees under the table because it's no longer worth it to employ them, or they just shut down. And then on the flip side, you have generally, this was the general case, but again, this has not really been the Conservative Party for the past 5 or 10 years, is usually they fight for more like free market stuff.
Talking way too fast.
So they'll say things like, well, the minimum wage should be lower, or, you know, the company should be able to act in whatever way they want. And obviously, in some ways, that's not good. We have rare diseases in the United States, so there's not very much money that you are incentivized to cure, because why would you? But when the government offers incentives with there's a name for like this rare drug disease program, but the government kind of offers bounties for curing certain diseases, even though the financial incentive wouldn't be there otherwise. Like, well, that's a good thing. And conservatives would never push for stuff like that. So yeah, you have to have, like, I think these two forces pushing and pulling on each other. And then it just forces you to be a little bit more honest about what your particular policies can do. And then you settle somewhere, not necessarily in the middle, but even if you settle more to one side, at least it's kept more honest by your opposition.
You had to distill down, what are the two opposing forces? Are they politically opposing forces or something else?
Between like the right and the left today?
Yeah, I can't tell if in that example you're saying you need the right and the left to be pushing on different parts of how we, you know, move the levers of the economy, and they disagree, and so they're each pulling on different levers, and that just sort of on balance creates something good. If that's what you're saying, or if
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay. So the way that I approach this, I think the fundamental way that people are looking at this stuff is so broken, and nobody in politics understands the economy. Scott Besson does, for sure. That guy really understands. But the vast majority of people, the people he needs to convince to be appointed, they don't understand the economy. So you run into a position where if a politician's job is to get elected and get re-elected, then they have no incentive to actually learn how the economy works. They have an incentive to learn how to make the populace feel about something that they're saying. This is why Mamdani is so impressive, in that he really understands the pain that people are going through. He can put his finger right on it, and he can say a solution that sounds awesome. But when it sounds awesome from an emotional standpoint, it will make people feel what they want to feel.
Okay. I think I've reached my mental capacity limit on how much I can do this and also watch something at the exact same time and actually react to it. I think I've hit my limit. I think I've hit my limit because I started to not care, which means we're done. And you know what? It's a little late. It's a little late in the day. I think I'm gonna call it done. Call it quits. So do what's on screen. Thank you very much. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, Wartsnary. It's great. It's fun. And got my little Charlie Kirk shirt. That is actually a shirt. It was a 6 extra large shirt, but I thought it would make the thing bigger.
Wartsnary 1449. No GHT.
No GHT. Got. What does that mean? GHT? What does that mean? But yeah, we're done now. I think I'm gonna call it done. But you know what? I'll be back maybe tomorrow or maybe Friday, because this is like Thanksgiving.
Wartsnary 1449. Night even.
Yeah, you're like, it's like way super late where you're at, basically. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. It's been great. Tested out the new chat system, which is great.
Wartsnary 1449 says, he is smug defined.
Yes, true. He is smug defined. I'll figure out a way to make it so that the numbers don't show up. But until then, yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.